So hi guys and welcome to the Friday Night Rant, and that was me conveying disappointment and sadness. So you may be saying, why Jurassic Junkie? Why are you so down? There's a very simple reason. The Titanfall beta has ended. So yes, I've played nothing but that game solidly for like 4 or 5 days, and oh my god, it's amazing. So before I jump into actually talking about Titanfall, I'm going to have a nice little wet, and this is going to be kiwi, lime and some random other stuff, and it's green, so let's see what this tastes like. It tastes absolutely fantastic, which has surprised me. So then, Titanfall. Now, first of all, obviously, it is an amazing game, but I'm not going to be here to actually just tell you how good it is. But I will say, when you actually play games like Call of Duty, now I've not played Call of Duty in a long time, I'm a Battlefield guy, but you chuck me into Call of Duty, I'm going to find it quite hard to start off with to get used to how the actual game works. And the same is, if you take a COD person, chuck them in Battlefield, they're going to struggle for a bit. Whereas Titanfall, as soon as I jumped in, it just works. The whole thing flows, it's balanced, and it's so easy to actually pick up and play. So just from that aspect, I went, great, this is just perfect, pure perfection what they've produced. Now on top of it, it's just an amazing, non-stop, crazy, batshit game. That much so, I've actually put in over 24 hours in the beta just over the 3 or 4 days. And I think I played about 183 games, so I've actually played a fair amount of Titanfall. And the thing that's annoying me is anyone that's actually played it says it's great, but when you go on the internet, obviously there's a lot of people complain about it, but if you read them comments, you can tell they've not even played it, because it's things like the textures look bad instead of the textures are bad. So it means, looking from that video, I think the game is crap. And people going, well, I don't want to play a 6v6 game. Instead of people going, I've played 6v6 and it isn't enjoyable. So you can tell just by the wording, these are the people that have not actually enjoyed Titanfall. So there's 3 things that crop up all the time, and I just want to actually touch upon. Now, first of all, some of the haters, shall we say, are complaining about 6v6. But as most people that I've spoke to who's actually played this game have said, there is a reason it's 6v6, and it's because it's perfection. Now when you jump in, you obviously got your 6 players, they've got 6 players, you can call in Titans, and you haven't got to get in your Titans, so you can let them run around, so that's instantly turned it into like a 12-man battle via 12. And then you've got your AI grunts, you've got your AI spectres, you've got lots of things constantly going off in the entire map. So if you introduce more characters, I think it would be a case of you just be dying every 15 seconds and the game will get quite boring. So by reducing it to 6, it still feels action-packed, but it actually gives you enough time to run across the map and actually hunt somebody out. So the next thing I want to talk about is the AI characters. Now even I was a bit sceptical about this, because I watched a video of somebody just run in, mow 6 AIs down and just run straight off, and I thought, well, that does look like poor AI programming. But I'm glad to say it isn't poor programming, it's actually an AI decision, because the programming for the AI is in fact really good. For instance, if you're actually in a Titan, you decide to climb out, it will go into AI autopilot. And that autopilot is brilliant. I've seen the Titans actually punch people against the wall, they'll catch bullets, throw it back. So the AI, the actual Titans, is really, really good. But I think what they've done is they've dialed it back for the actual AI grunts, the actual spectres, the people on foot. And this is mainly because as soon as you actually start the game, obviously, one team spawns that side and you spawn the other. Now, if I run to that side and I catch a human, it's going to be a 50-50 battle. First to the triggers, and then that's the person that's going to win. But if these AI grunts and the actual foot soldiers as such had better AI programming, it would be very one-sided. If you catch a human and the nearest spectre or something like that, it would be instant death for you every time. So to kind of actually make it balanced, they've actually made these AIs a bit more dumb, shall we say. So I don't think it's poor programming, it's actually a design choice. But the great thing is they are nice quick wins. So when you're actually playing the game, it takes about 3 minutes or so for your Titan to fall down. Every time you kill a human, that reduces the time, but every time you kill an AI, it reduces it by a tiny little bit. So for a quick win, if you can actually run in, find some AIs, kill them as fast as you can, it actually brings your reduced time down. And by reduced time, I mean it reduces your time of the Titan. And at the same time, it's quite good because one of the humans can actually just run in with the actual AI, and sometimes you won't know which one it is if you quickly running in, and then you'll pick the wrong one off and they'll get you back. So it's just very good and balanced the way they've done it, and you can tell that Respawn have decided to do this and it's not due to bad programming. The last thing that people have complained about is there's no destructional environment. Now personally, after playing Battlefield for God knows how many hours, I love to blow buildings up. That's what kind of took me away from COD, because on Battlefield, if somebody's camping or if somebody hides in the building, I just blow that building up, and I love doing that. So when I found out Titanfall didn't have this actual in there, I thought, I would have liked to seen it. I want to have a Titan, I want to smash through buildings. But after playing it, I'm so glad they haven't. And the main reason is, a Titan is a big ass robot that can do ridiculous amounts of damage. So as a human, if you are not in your Titan, you obviously got to take it down by your anti-Titan weapon. Now you get a shot into a Titan, piece of but the problem is, as soon as you hit that Titan, he's going to turn on you and you need cover. Now if they allowed the buildings to blow up, that means as soon as a Titan spots you, he will blow your cover up. And after about 2 minutes of gameplay, there will probably be no cover left on the map, which means all the Titans would crush every human no matter what. So it's great that you can actually take on a Titan by actually dodging behind walls, popping back out, doing a few more shots and hiding again. So it's very balanced again. A human has a good chance of taking down a Titan. But also at the same time, when you're in a Titan, you will be warned that people are actually locking onto you with the RPGs. So at the same time, in a Titan, you can duck behind a building and get out of dodge. So I think everything that Respawn have done has been done for a reason. This game is so balanced. It's a joy to play. And it's, even if you're not into FPS, it's one of them ones you can just pick up and you can jump in and enjoy. Now my friend Rant come round, he's not really been big on consoles for the last year or two. And I gave him the controller and he was straight in there and he was killing and he was enjoying it. So I just think it's just pure perfection, and I cannot wait now for March, because the game to me is crack. They've given me a taste, I've enjoyed it, and now I need another Titanfall hit. So after me just saying how much I love this game, let's move on to Call of Duty. Now Call of Duty for me has been a dying franchise. I've fallen in love with Battlefield and I've always think that's a superior FPS, but that's just my opinion. Now Titanfall's on the actual scene as well. It means that there's even more damage to be done against the COD franchise. But it seems like Call of Duty are actually going to try and change things up a little by introducing a third developer. So Sledgehammer has now been chucked into the mix. So you might be asking, what does this mean? Well, it still means you're going to be getting a Call of Duty every single year. So at the moment you've got Treyarch and Infinity Ward as the two developers, so they're actually making a game, then get a 2-year gap and the other developer fills in between. So by introducing a third developer means that each developer now has a 3-year gap and a cycle between each game, which I think is a lot better. It means each game now will have 1 year's more injection in there. It means they can actually build on the quality. It means they can hopefully change the game enough to actually make it feel like a new game and not like DLC. And that's how Call of Duty's felt for me for the many years. It just feels like it's DLC, new maps, new weapons, a little tweak, and it doesn't feel much of a change. So personally I think it's a great idea introducing another developer into the mix and giving them a bit of a stretch, giving them a longer time period to actually make these games. So the next thing I want to talk about is I want to bash all 3 of the big consoles at the moment, because they've all done something that's annoyed me this week. So we'll start off then with PlayStation 4. Now when I first got my PlayStation, I felt the rubber of the controller and I thought, it's a very nice rubber. It kind of sticks to your fingers so you can't slip off it, but at the same time I could tell that it wasn't as robust as the actual Xbox One controller. It felt like it would rub off over time. Now I haven't put a ridiculous amount of time into my actual PlayStation. I'm a heavy Xbox One user at the moment, but I could probably say I'm around about 400 hours into my Xbox One. I have played a ridiculous amount of time and there is zero wear on the rubber of the controller. Whereas there's now reports of a lot of PlayStation 4 users saying the actual DualShock controller, the rubber is starting to come off. Now when I've gone into game shops and there's a kiosk with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, I've noticed the PlayStation 4 controller, the rubber, looks like it has got a tiny bit of wear and tear. Reports are coming in of hundreds of people complaining the rubber's gone straight down to the plastic already, or it's kind of teared or will come off. Now, if this ever happens, obviously your first point of call is to go back to Sony. Now, I've gone on to actual Sony official forums and noticed a lot more people reporting this issue, people putting photos on, which I'll put a few above, and they're also complaining that Sony, so they're giving practically little or no support. But the few people that said they've actually got support from Sony said that they was told that they need to send their controller back to Sony, wait for it to be sent, wait for them to confirm they received it, then wait for another one to be sent back. So during that period, you render your console useless. Now I think this is a really bad tactic of Sony. I think if you know there is a potential problem with your actual controller, you should jump on it and support the people that actually purchase your product. Now on the other hand, I've had a problem with my actual Xbox. I've told you in a previous video I managed to actually snag the headset, which was down to a design flaw as such. And I contacted Microsoft and with no questions asked, I just went straight on and said my headset was faulty and one was dispatched for free in the post. And to top that off, one of my friends actually had a disk drive issue. It was actually working fine, but it probably failed about 5 or 6 times. He contacted Microsoft, says it's done it a few times, but it is working at the moment, and Microsoft's response was, if it's doing it now, it could potentially get worse in the future, and sent him a free Xbox One, and then once he received it, he sent his faulty one back. Now, fair enough, they did ask for his credit card details, obviously, in case he received the second Xbox and never sent the other one back, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So you can continue to play your actual console, enjoy your product, until your new one comes, then you give your faulty one back. And here we're talking about a £400 console, whereas Sony is only talking about a £50 controller, but yet they're making people send it in first. So I think that's bad tactics really of Sony, and it's now made me think to actually buy some rubber grips to put on top of my PlayStation controller to just make sure I don't get to see the wear and tear. But don't worry if everyone thinks I'm bashing PlayStation, because Nintendo and Xbox are going to get some as well. So let's go to Nintendo. So what have they done this week? Well, they've launched an absolutely beautiful YouTube channel by the name of The Official Girls Club. And somehow they managed to get a time machine and go all the way back to the 20s so they could do stereotypical women kind of videos. Now, first of all, these videos are very poor production value. They're not getting many hits. And if you look, they've got 1 million dislikes, because it's annoying a lot of the girl gamers. Now, straight off the bat, when you watch one of these videos, it's very pink and soft and girly, but the problem is, instead of saying girls, let's play all these great games, they're saying here we are playing Animal Crossing, New Style Boutique, and Lego Friends. So it's a very stereotypical look at women going, these are cutesy girl games that girls should be playing. And it's offended a lot of girl gamers. Personally, when Jo first watched it, she said that's absolutely disgusting, saying these are the games that we should be playing. Because to be fair, girls don't play necessarily girly games. Guys can play girly games as much as girls. There is no, oh, he's got a penis and she hasn't, so therefore they play different games. We're all one and we just play what we enjoy. Now, when I first got Jo into gaming, I didn't have to coax her in with a girly game. I chucked her into Phantasy Star Online, and she just took that up, and that was it. She just got the passion for gaming, and since then she's playing some monster games. In fact, she was the one that actually completed Oblivion before me. So at the same time, yes, she does enjoy Animal Crossing, but so do I. So I don't know why Nintendo's gone with this approach to try and actually get the girl market, even though I think they've already got the girl market. But I think it is very rude of them actually turning around and saying, here is Style Boutique for us girls. And even if you go onto the Nintendo website, it actually says games for her, and it gives you Style Boutique and very stereotypical style games. So Nintendo's managed to already have the girl market, claim they want it more, and then offend the girl market. So I don't know how Nintendo can go from bad decision to bad decision to bad decision. But it does mean now that Nintendo's open to hopefully bring out things like Wash the Dishes Simulator, Do Your Man's Ironing Simulator, followed by Do Anything to Please Your Man Simulator. So that then leaves us with Microsoft. Now, one thing that's annoyed me this week is Strider's actually come out and I was like, brilliant, more games, I enjoy more games. But Strider's one of them ones I'm slightly on the fence. I've seen some footage and I'm like, well, I don't know if I want that or not, I'm not quite sure. So whenever that kind of problem pops up, that's where the demos come in. But for some reason on the Xbox One, we are not seeing enough demos. It took us ages to actually see a few trickle through, then they kind of come through, and there's nothing more. Now, at first I just thought, okay, Strider doesn't have a demo. And then I realised on the PlayStation Store is a Strider demo. So now I'm going to go on my PlayStation, play it, and if I enjoy it, I'm probably going to buy it on the Xbox One. But that's just personally because I love the controller, I love the ecosystem, I love my friends that are on there. But the point still stands, I don't know why Microsoft aren't getting enough demos out. But I will come to say one thing that Microsoft is definitely not getting enough out, and that is Games for Gold. Now, in the previous few videos I spoke about my idea that I think Games for Gold was going to be a sneaky Fable anniversary. Yeah, I was wrong. It was all instead. So originally you've got PlayStation that had PlayStation Plus back in the PS3 days, and that was always the superior service, and I actually thought the reason for that was Xbox are charging for the network, PlayStation wasn't, and then they introduced a charge for PlayStation Plus. So therefore all that money that you're paying can actually go to buy the rights for games for you to get them for free. Whereas Microsoft couldn't do that because the money that it was paying was already going into the online servers and stuff like that. So in my head it was always, they've got more money to do that, so it's going to be a better service. But when it came to next-gen consoles, both of them have very identical services. You should be getting free games on both of them, and both of them pay for your network and online games. So I thought it's going to be nice, even playing field. We're going to see both Microsoft and Sony going head to head with the free games. But at the moment, we've seen Sony giving away some great free games. We've just been playing Outlast, and that was a really, really great free game. Whereas on the Microsoft side, we are seeing Tumbleweed. So we'll keep tweeting and messaging Microsoft support, see if we can get any information, and it's very quiet. But in March, we are going to be seeing ID at Xbox introduced, which is going to be the independent developer for Xbox market. So we're going to be seeing, hopefully, boom of the indie games coming through in March. And I hope that Microsoft is setting one or two of them aside, paying them off and saying, can we give these free to actual users? So fingers crossed, we are going to start to see some games for gold in March. But if we don't, I will be very upset. So that's pretty much it then, guys. What have we learnt today? Titanfall is amazing. Nintendo, Sony and Microsoft all can do great things, but at the same time they can all things up. And also, horrible green looking liquid doesn't taste bad. So that's going to leave me with a question of the week. And this week it comes from Kaylee Mutamar, who asks, do you prefer to actually play on foot or in a Titan on Titanfall? Now, the answer to the question is, I'd probably say on foot, which is quite surprising. In a Titan is badass, it's just awesome going around blowing things up, but the parkour element, the jetpacks, the flying around on foot just works so fluidly, it's a joy to do. So I have to say, I much prefer being on foot than in a Titan, even though when you're in a Titan, it is tits. So that's me done and dusted, guys. I'm going to kick back now, edit this, and then I'm actually going to take a load of my footage that I've got on the OneDrive from the Xbox of Titanfall, chuck it all together and hopefully make a funny style compilation of it. So I hope you guys have a great weekend, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Cheers guys, bye.